very warm welcome to my accidentally live stream today. I'm on vacation. Normally I would have been on a trip, but we have to postpone that trip, and that's the reason why I thought, yeah, I'm going to create a live stream about a new blog post I wrote. Interesting topic, IBM Watsonx AI topic. You know, ChatGPT and all that AI stuff is interesting also from a developer point of view, and that is the blog post is a little bit more about a developer point of view and not so much about a data scientist. It is really getting the thing done to be able to integrate it into an application and not using a Jupyter notebook. And that is what it's all about, and that is what I will show you, and I hope that is interesting for you, and maybe you have also much fun as I have when I created that. So let us start with the blog post I created. So you can see here that's the blog post, and the topic I already said what is, so really using so let me see here the example, using a question answering pipeline. What is a question answering pipeline? That is when you're using prompts from a large language model and you're not so familiar with prompt engineering and so on, then maybe take a look at that first. Then you provide information and a question, that means a context, for example, and a question, and then you can use the large language model to provide you an answer based on that configuration, so that it really uses the context you provide to answer your question, so that you have totally configured to you. So in that context, we are going to use, or we plan to use Watson Discovery to search for information related to the question we have, and provide the information from Watson Discovery and put that information into the context and the question and provide that to Watsonx. So that is about that pipeline. And our application provides a REST API so that it can be easily integrated into other systems, examples, and so on. Or maybe, yeah, I wrote a blog post about Watson Assistant. Bring your own search. Maybe you can also use it for that. So with all that in mind, so let us see what we're going to do. We run that application, that Python application, first locally. Then we run it as a container locally, and then we deploy it to Code Engine. As always, when I do such kind of streams, I want to give you the ability and see how it really works also on a private account here there, and that is my private account. And honestly, I cannot show you on my private account the Watson Discovery instance, because I'm running out of the trial period, and when you run out of the trial period, you can no longer instantiate a free version with that, and so I cannot instantiate that. It would cost me too much money, and I don't want to spend that, honestly, and that is that's the reason why I can't show you that. But that's not totally critical. If you understood already the context, I verified it before that it works, and you can see that in when you try it out, so that it works. If it doesn't work, yeah, just give me feedback and let me double check it. Okay, so move on. What's next? You can try it out by yourself. You can see here there is a free trial. Watsonx provides many more than just with that prompt labs. Yeah, so that's just the starting point, which is very interesting and makes fun. Yeah, so we'll see that why it makes fun, and that is what it's about. I want to motivate you. Try it out by yourself. Start a free trial. I did it on my private account. Um, and now let us take a look what is instantiated. When we do such free trial, we get in storage, and we have Watson Machine Learning and Watson Studio. I did a short diagram for that, so that it shows you that that is what is in your IBM Cloud account. And I represent that a little bit with that Cloud Pack. In that context is running, in context of a Cloud Pack, and using the data platform. So that is what happens. I open up already here the prompt lab, what we are going to use. When we open up the Watson Studio, you can see here, you will be guided to that page, and then you can launch that from here, and then you get later on into the environment where the project is set up, and you can launch the prompt lab. Or maybe, okay, I just do it again. So I leave that side, and you can see it now. It starts again, so you can see preparing Watsonx AI. That's here. That are our tools, and so here, workbench. I don't want them to take a tour, and here you can see that is the project which was set up automatically, which created automatically the instances in my IBM Cloud account, and that is the Prompt Lab. So a fun thing with the prompt is, as I said, you provide information to a large language model with specific configuration so that you can tune it to your needs. And what I do now, I show you now, I will use the large language model just to provide me the information that my name is Thomas, and I give the right prompt to do that. So let me see, that is the test I have set up here in that context, in the blog post. You can see here there's a document, my name is Thomas, question, what is your name, and here I expect the answer. And as I said, if you want to dig into really how our prompt engineering and so on works, that's a different topic, and then you can go to some YouTube videos. IBM also did, so I like that. Maybe I will also link it into the live stream description when I've finished that live stream. So let us start with generate. So let's here then generate, and that is what I expected here. The answer is Thomas. And what a nice thing is from a developer point of view, that you see here the curl command, and that is what you need to create the invocation. And you can see here that is the input we need to create as developer, so that we get in our application the same result as we have provided here. And that are the other needed information, which model we are going to use. There are more models we can use, and about parameters, the return tokens, minimum return tokens, what we are going to do, and that is what we need. What very important is that project ID, because we need to identify in IBM Cloud, in our account, which project that is. So, okay, with all that in mind, we need to know how to access here the Watsonx. And now we take a look into the implementation with FastAPI. FastAPI, yeah, it's really fast. I haven't done Python implementation before with and even with FastAPI. I didn't have implemented the FastAPI, and that is great. I like it. It is really easy to specify that with the FastAPI. I set up the application like that. So here we have our main um, part of the application, and here we have our modules which we are going to use. Here we use a FastAPI. I protected it with a base authentication, yeah, and that are the different modules. Loading environment variables, because in that concept we provide the information to invoke the application, later on configure the application when it is running also as a container with environment variables. So that is easy for a restart. So we do not need to remember it. We can provide it with a config map, yeah, and or maybe also with secrets, and then it's easy just to restart container. And we have a stateless container, yeah. So that is very good in that context. So with that is what we need for the discovery. As I said, I cannot show the invocation at the moment. Yeah, so that is what you need. I gave you also the information how to gathering the information from Watson Discovery, and that is what we need here in the context of Watsonx. When we want to invoke with the Watsonx, we need to identify us again the IBM Cloud. Therefore, we need an API key. And here, that is our protection of the application, very simply with a base authentication. And what I really like, yeah, it is really easy for the configuration how the payload, which is the part what you send to your REST endpoint invocation, yeah, when you do here an post. And that is very easy to specify. Here I define that in that file, yeah. And you can also specify the return values. And here you can see, here I specified some of the return values. That is a little bit more work from my perspective. You have to think about what your JSON structure is, and sometimes it's a little bit more complicated than than you expect that it is when you do it out of the box. So I do the basic information so you can see how that works with dictionary and with the combination of the result. And it is important to understand when you use that a little bit of the API specification, yeah. So that is a definition of an outline, and then we reference the next one. But I think it is better to see that, and that is the reason why I would start the application now directly from the local machine. So when we start that, it is very easy. I provide the information how to start it in the guideline. So here we can start it from local. Therefore, we open up a terminal session in the folder code. So I already specified the environment, the virtual environment, which is needed for the Python configuration, what the libraries are used, and so on. So I do that very transparent. Normally, you can also do that by just loading it from the requirements txt, but I wanted to show that to you, how that works, and yeah, that's the reason why I do it twice. So here you can create it, or maybe you can just use it like that. Yeah, now we create. I already created that environment in the code folder, and now I activate that environment. I source my variables, and then the application gets started. So now, there's another application already starting, already running. So I need to verify that. Okay, yeah. So the reason for that was I tried something before, and then I now need to delete the instance which is running locally. So that is what I have later on for the context of the usage as a container. Yeah. Okay. So let us do that again. Now we start. Now the server is started. Let us see how it looks like. Now here in my second screen it is open. So put it. Oh, I want to set it here. Yeah, here. So the status is configured, and here we go to the docs, and now here you can see you can directly download the JSON, the OpenAPI specification, so we can integrate that application very easily into other systems. For example, Watson Assistant, yeah, maybe you have seen the integration or the possibilities of extensions. Maybe I put a link in the descriptions also for that live stream I did, or maybe somewhere link it as in context here above somewhere. So now it's running. So, and you can here see the different schemas we have, and that is what I defined. And what I defined and what I use, that is for the result, that are for the result values, yeah, or for the responses. But you can see here the responses. Here you can see that's the response format. So here I defined that, and yeah, and it's automatically shown here, and that is so that is very easy for the usage, result string, and so on. Let us invoke now our simple answering get a simple answer endpoint, and that endpoint, when we are going to try it out, so I can authorize here. I don't need to authorize because I have run it before, but I do it so you can see it here. So now we do provide the same questions. Yeah, you can see here that, or the same information as in the document. That's the context here. The context was before. Yeah, that is what's in the document. My name is Thomas, and now we have here, what's your name? And with that, we give the large language model, the information resource to answer the questions we have, and the answer is invalid body. Oh. What did I wrong? Question. Maybe I did here. Was there something wrong? Executed. Huh? Unprocessable entity. Okay. So let's see what I have done wrong. Okay, let us start it once again. Maybe there was sometimes, and not with I forgot the comma. Yeah. what is, it's better to write, what is your name, and here we say my name is Thomas. Now it should work as expected, and now yeah, it works. Yeah, such simple thing, a comma. Yeah, wow. Yeah, okay, works, runs locally, and with that, now we can go to the next step. So what I already did, yeah, before you have seen that, I needed to stop the container. Now we can run that locally. So a little bit before we start that, how that was implemented. The simple prompt here, we have the text, that is the context what I provide, and the question. Here I replace, that are the replace templates, yeah, for the text what we provide. The reason for that is to understand in that context a prompt is what you write here, maybe in addition, yeah, to that information with the context. Maybe we can also say answer that when we go to the prompt lab, answer, and we write here answer. We can say you want to answer this question very detailed. Yeah, so let us see what happens with that. So we can remove that, generate. Oh, it's still only Thomas because there is so less information. And normally you get yeah, to get more you could get more details, but nothing is more around, and that is the reason for that. Okay, so I haven't tried that out. I should have tried that out before. Okay, let us move on, as I said, because that is, you can change, yeah, the prompt you can change with the input parameter. And now we let the application run as a container, and therefore we use the automation I created here. The automation starts the container in a Docker Compose environment. And that happens here, and you can see the Docker Compose environment is here, and I started as a container. I know where the Docker file is, which what the name of the image will be, the container name, the ports, and the environment variables I load from the environment. And that's the reason why I started in that bash script, and that bash script verifies it's Docker running, source the environment information, and starts build the container, and then start it with Docker Compose. So let's see, start. It is called start Docker. So yeah, start it again. Okay. The application should still look the same, yeah. And now we can try it out again. Maybe try it a little bit with something different. How is the weather today? And we say we have some weather today, and we will go out for a walk. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, try it out. What happens? Awesome, it says. Cool. Okay. How is the weather today? Yeah, we have awesome weather. It's okay. It's good. The weather is awesome. Yeah. That is what the answer is. And the next is, now we're going to deploy that to a code engine. I have a project here in Code Engine that is already. And the cool with Code Engine is when you want to try it out, and that is the reason why I really like it. You have also a free tier here for running applications. And if you do not run the application too long, and you scale it to 0, because by the way, Code Engine is an awesome serverless platform. You can configure and really easily run the container here, and that is the reason why I really like to use it. And now we will upload a container here, and we will provide a config map. And what we also do, we use inside IBM Cloud. And we can also use others, but I use that now with the IBM Cloud. There's a container registry, and that container registry is here. That's Code Engine, sorry. I said it wrong. Satellite, wow. Was not satellite. Kubernetes, yeah. Kubernetes. Container registry. So, and here we will upload a container. Yeah, we do no manual steps. Everything is automated. So we stop that. And then you have also automation here. I wrote an information how that works in a script. And by the way, what you have seen now, that is not a part of the blog post. That is only available in that live stream. And yeah, maybe I will write additional blog posts related to that about the setup or not, but you can see it here in that live stream and see how that works. Yeah, there's an automation which does a lot. Yeah, that automation does for you. It set up the Code Engine project. It creates a container registry access for you. It creates a config map, deploys the application, gets some logging information directly with kubectl. So that is cool that IBM Code Engine is based on Knative and on Kubernetes, and you can also use, in addition to the IBM Cloud CLI for Code Engine, also that. And sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it definitely makes no sense. And yeah, but that's cool that the ability is there. Going to verify the deployment, and yeah, then we save the deployment to a deployment log. Okay, so let's go to that folder, and then For that you need to configure also an environment. Here is the template for sure. I don't show you the already configured one. And yeah, and with that information, everything gets automated by the bash script. So we can just start by deploy sh deploy to Code Engine. Then it logs on, and let us watch what happens here in Code Engine. So triggers and config maps will come up, and now we can see here, as I promised, it builds now the container. It registered, and now it loads it up. We will see in the container registry. We should see it in a few moments. The container registry when it's done. When it's done. So oh yeah, it's still building. And what it also does, it takes the tag of your of the Git project, not the tag, the commit ID, the last commit ID as a tag for your container, so that you also know which commit ID was used to create commit of the GitHub project was used to create that container, and potentially that script can also be used to restore a container when the container is no longer available. For example, in your container registry, something failed, you can rebuild it. So, we can see the namespace is created. Yeah. So now pushed, and yeah, okay. So now we have here our container. So now we move on. The project is going to be created. The project is already created, we know, in the Code Engine, because I run it before. And now we can see here there's a pipeline configuration with a config map. Here I provide all the various environment variables. For sure, for the keys, normally we should use secrets, but if for that reason I just use the config map. And now it deploys the application. So we can see that it is going to deploy the application, and now everything was executed. If I open API specification, oh, Thomas, our test works. So, and now everything was done, and we have our application available on that environment. Let me copy it. Inside the documentation for the deployment, I also provide, we can just put that now here, copy that command, so clear, put it, execute. We have also we have also here running, ready for integration on IBM Cloud. So, and it also works with the entire pipeline, as I said, but I cannot show you at the moment with my personal account. I have not running it at the moment. Watson Discovery, but it makes fun to play around with the as you have seen with the prompt lab, with the engineering using different models, configure it. Yeah, and I think it is also fun also for a developer directly to integrate that in an application. For sure, from a perspective really to as a data scientist, it makes totally sense to have that in an Jupyter notebook for for data validation and fine tuning and all that stuff. But yeah, that was not the objective of today. Yeah, and I hope you have also fun with that as I had. I like it. It is a lot of automation there, and maybe you can use that. And really, fast API is really fast, and yeah, just try it out. Maybe it's useful for you. And let's see what will be the next video. Or maybe I'll do a video. I mostly do live streams. Uh, Maybe I also do a video. Let's see. I hope that we tomorrow we really can go to our trip and nothing will happen and prevent us again. Um, so I wish you a nice remaining day or whenever you watch that. And yeah, see you. And now I fade out with my new song, Turn Off the Alarm, if you want to, yeah, sleep a little bit more. And I just say bye.